Welcome to Royal Daily Report, your trusted source for royal family news and updates. I'm your host, and today we bring you an exclusive story that's shaking the palace walls. Meghan is not innocent at all. She's caught up in this mess with me, whether she wants to be or not. Something is very wrong happening behind closed doors. Very wrong. Quiet rumors have been spreading through London for weeks. Not loud enough to make the newspapers, but strong enough to make Meghan Markle nervous. Because this time the threat isn't coming from newspapers or critics or people who comment online. It's coming from inside the same family she once tried to win over. For years, one man has been seen as the royal family's biggest embarrassment, Prince Andrew. After his public shame, after everyone judged him, after his titles were taken away and the world rejected him, he stayed quiet. Everyone thought he would stay quiet forever. But now, sources say Andrew has started talking. Not to the public, not yet, but privately, quietly, carefully, and the name he keeps mentioning is Meghan Markle. Tonight, we look into why Meghan is supposedly scared, why Andrew is suddenly ready to talk, and what secrets have been hidden under Buckingham Palace for years. This is the beginning of our story, and it starts with a rumor that shocked the palace. According to sources who know royal circles, Prince Andrew has started sharing information from his past that he never planned to talk about. Information he once kept safe, information he once kept hidden. But after losing his public job, his good name, and almost everything he once cared about, Andrew supposedly feels he has nothing left to lose. The silence that once kept him safe doesn't help him anymore, and now he thinks it is time to tell the whole story. And in this story, Meghan Markle is not an outsider. She is supposedly standing much closer to Andrew's past than anyone thought possible. This is where the stress begins. The rumors coming from Britain say Andrew is very angry about how he was forced out, while Meghan, who supposedly spent time in the same social groups during the same years, has been protected with complete silence. To Andrew, that silence is not fair. To the palace, that silence is needed, but to Meghan, that silence might be the only thing stopping her world from falling apart. And now Andrew is supposedly getting ready to break it. Don't forget to subscribe to Royal Daily Report for more exclusive royal family updates and breaking news. Before Meghan got married, before the royal titles, before the TV shows and speeches, there was a time in her life the public barely knows anything about. And it's that time that is suddenly getting attention. According to insiders, Meghan had a surprising amount of contact with Karina Shuliak, Epstein's last known girlfriend. Karina herself has said publicly that she only traveled on planes, boats, and private trips through Epstein's connections. She lived in his world only. So when photos came out showing Meghan on boats connected to the same group around 2014, people behind the scenes started asking questions. Not loudly, not publicly, but seriously enough that the palace paid attention. The question whispered in private rooms was easy. If Andrew's connection with Epstein destroyed him, why are Meghan's supposed ties being ignored? This is where the fear begins, because the palace, the newspapers, and the whole royal system made a choice. They would protect Harry's new wife no matter what. They would avoid another scandal. They would hide everything that might connect her to that world. But now that Andrew is angry, now that Andrew feels left behind, that protection may not work anymore. While Andrew's story became world news, not many people know one specific detail. Virginia Roberts-Gay supposedly wanted Meghan Markle to testify as a witness, not as a victim, not as someone unconnected, but as someone she knew from the environment around Andrew. Sources claim Virginia knew Meghan socially from that same circle, the one where Andrew Epstein and Karina spent time, and Virginia believed Meghan had been close enough to Andrew, long enough to be important to his behavior and activities during those years. Why would Virginia think Meghan could be a useful witness? Easy, she supposedly knew Meghan had seen more than she ever admitted. This is where the story gets darker, because if Virginia knew Meghan, if Meghan and Andrew had a past friendship, if Meghan was close enough to be legally interesting, then Andrew's silence isn't only about his story, it's about hers. And now, sources say he is ready to finally talk. To understand how Meghan Markle ended up in the same environment as powerful, rich people, billionaires, and royalty, we have to go back to one moment in 2011. The moment she got off the plane in Toronto, she was there to film Suits. Unknown, with no connections, just another actress trying to make it. But according to people familiar with the social scene, Meghan didn't stay unnoticed for long. The moment Soho House opened in Toronto, a man named Marcus Anderson, a well-known person in rich social circles, supposedly brought Meghan into the inner group. Not slowly, not carefully, but right away, like someone was opening a backstage pass and giving it to her. Marcus Anderson didn't just introduce Meghan to new people. He put her into the highest circles of the city. People with money, status, power, and private access. From special parties to high-influence meetings to travel with people who were far above her Hollywood salary level. Meghan wasn't climbing step by step, she was being pulled upward. And this sudden rise matters because many of these circles overlapped with the same wealthy environments that Karina Shuliak and Epstein's friends spent time in. It was a world where billionaires moved in and out of cities like New York and Toronto easily. A world Meghan found herself in surprisingly fast. This was the beginning of her path toward royalty. But it wasn't Harry who opened the first door. Meghan's fans love to say that she met Harry on a blind date, as if her meeting with royalty was a fairy tale accident. But sources say that story leaves out a very important detail. Long before Meghan ever met Harry, she was already close friends with Princess Eugenie, Prince Andrew's daughter. This means something huge. Meghan had access to Andrew's world years before she ever knew Harry. Eugenie wasn't just any royal. She was one of Meghan's earliest royal connections, a quiet, hidden link that gave Meghan a surprising inside path into Buckingham Palace. When Meghan visited New York or Toronto or London, Eugenie supposedly knew her. When Meghan went to private parties or special events, Eugenie was supposedly there in those circles. And if Meghan knew Eugenie, then she knew Andrew. At the very least, she was close enough to be in the same rooms, hear the same conversations, and be part of the same social group. This is why Virginia Roberts mentioning Meghan as a possible witness isn't random. This is why Andrew's silence is starting to break. And this is why Meghan seems to be so worried. Because if her pre-Harry history with the Andrea-Eugenie circle becomes public, it changes her story completely. She didn't stumble into the royal world. She walked in through a back door. By the time Andrew's scandal blew up, Meghan was already safely protected by the palace machine. She had Harry, she had titles, she had worldwide PR. But Andrew, he had nothing left to lose. And according to sources close to him, that's when his anger began to grow. Behind closed doors, Andrew supposedly started saying things he would never say in public. He would talk about people who were around him during those controversial years. Not just wealthy businessmen or unknown associates. But Meghan, he supposedly mentioned that she was close to the family long before the media ever knew her name. He supposedly pointed out how she was present in circles the palace now refuses to talk about, and he supposedly questioned why he was the only one who paid the price. To Andrew, this was simple. If he was brought down for connections to Epstein, then why was Meghan protected when she supposedly had similar access? And now that Andrew has lost everything, his titles, his duties, his public standing, he has nothing left that the palace can take from him, which means he finally has something very dangerous, freedom to speak. And insiders say he's ready to use it. There is a moment in every story when a relationship burns so completely, nothing can be fixed. For Meghan Markle and Sarah Ferguson, better known as Fergie, that moment came quietly, but it left damage behind it. After Andrew's downfall, Fergie's world fell apart too. Titles gone, money threatened, reputation in pieces. According to sources familiar with the situation, Fergie reached out to Meghan privately, hoping for help, support, or even just public kindness. After all, Meghan had once been close enough to the family to think of Eugenie as a friend. She had been friendly with Fergie in the early days. There was history there. But sources claim Meghan refused. No support, no favor, no help at all. It wasn't just a no, it was a rejection. People close to the situation say Fergie felt pushed aside, as if Meghan believed she no longer needed anyone from that side of the family. And that refusal, according to insiders, changed everything. Because once Meghan turned her back, Andrew and Fergie no longer had a reason to keep protecting her. If Meghan could burn the relationship, then there was no reason for them to keep her secrets. This was the moment the quiet rumors began. The whispers, the hints that Andrew might speak one day, and Meghan, according to people close to her, felt it. While palace insiders whispered, and Andrew's anger grew, another person was being crushed under the weight of it all. Prince Harry, away from the United Kingdom, living in California, Harry had no palace advisors around him, no royal protection, and no powerful relatives to filter what reached him. He was on his own. And according to sources, this isolation made everything hit him even harder. Sources say Harry recently learned, or finally accepted details about Meghan's past connection to Andrew. Not rumors, not gossip, but actual links she never fully explained. People close to the couple claim Harry felt shocked, disgusted, and betrayed. Because this wasn't just about Meghan knowing Andrew. This was about Meghan knowing him before, Harry being around his family before they ever dated, and hiding how deep those connections really were. And now, Harry supposedly feels trapped, stuck in California, cut off from his family, unable to return. And realizing the woman he defended against the world might have kept huge secrets from him. The emotional pain is heavy. The anger is growing, and this is exactly why Meghan is supposedly terrified of Andrew breaking his silence, because Harry cannot handle another blow, and she knows it. Stay tuned to Royal Daily Report. And make sure you subscribe to never miss the latest royal revelations. Meghan Markle's rise was fast, too fast. From Toronto actress to New York, social circles to private jets and special parties, to royal connections, to marrying into the most powerful family in the world. It happened in a way that felt like a straight line, not a climb. But the same speed that pushed her up the ladder is now the speed turning back on her. According to sources, Meghan has made a dangerous habit of burning relationships, thinking she would never need those people again. Marcus Anderson distanced, Jessica Mulron dropped, Fergie ignored. And supposedly, Andrew pretended he never existed in her story. Each time she climbed another level, she let go of the hands that helped her up. Believing her new position made her untouchable. But power only protects you when the people around you want to keep your secrets. And right now, the people holding Meghan's most explosive secrets are the exact ones she pushed away. Andrew, Fergie, Eugenie, 3 names, 3 witnesses, 3 doors she should have kept open, but closed shut instead. And all 3 of them are now sitting on the same truth. This is where the story gets tighter, where the camera would zoom in, where the music would slow to a deep, echoing beat, because now everything is quiet. To quiet, Buckingham Palace is refusing to comment. The newspapers are pretending not to notice. Royal insiders have gone still like they're waiting for something they can't stop. And behind all this silence stands one man, Prince Andrew, holding a truth that could change everything. According to sources, Andrew doesn't want revenge. He wants balance. He wants fairness. He wants the world to hear the parts of the story that never made the headlines. The parts that would place Meghan Markle standing right beside him in circles she has spent years denying. He believes that if he went down alone, then the silence around Meghan is unfair. And Meghan, she feels the pressure building. She sees the walls closing in. She hears the distant sound of a door opening. A door she hoped Andrew would never walk through. Because if Andrew speaks, it won't be a whisper. It won't be a rumor. It won't be a gentle correction. It will be a bomb dropped onto a carefully built image. It will force the palace to face everything they buried. It will force Harry to face truths he avoided. And it will force the world to look at Meghan's rise with new eyes. Every empire is built on secrets, and every secret waits for its moment. For Meghan Markle, that moment may be coming. Quietly, slowly, but clearly, the storm is forming. And when Andrew finally breaks his silence, nothing will ever be the same. That's all for today's episode of Royal Daily Report. This story is far from over, and we'll continue to bring you updates as they develop. If you enjoyed this report, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss our breaking royal news. Share this video with anyone who follows royal family stories. I'm your host, and until next time, stay informed with Royal Daily Report.